What's going on, everybody? GemMint here, back with another Omnibus haul. It seems like it's kind of a theme, but this one is brought to you by Marvel Comics and Organic Price Books. Marvel sent in a few early release Omnibus and trade paperbacks. Everything else from Organic Price Books, that's where I've been getting all my stuff from. If you're looking to pick up some Omnibus, head on over to organicpricebooks.com. Use code GemMint. It'll save you $2 every time. Also, Organic Price Books is on Whatnot doing omnibus auctions just like me, and I have a huge omnibus auction that's going down this Friday, February 11th, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you guys have caught our last live stream, we are moving, so I'm going to purge the omnibus collection a bit, and I got about 70 books listed right now. You can bookmark it on Whatnot. Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Be there. With that being said, guys, let's start jumping into these books. All right, guys, let's take a look at these three trades first. These come out on February 23rd. We have Extreme Carnage, a mini-series that I really dug. We have Way of X. This is Volume 1. And then we have Wolverine, Volume 3. All right, guys, so like I said, Extreme Carnage, I really dug this mini-series. It really shed or shone a lot of light on the Life Foundation symbiotes. So it had a Extreme Carnage Alpha and Omega, and in between it was all one-shots for Scream, Phage, Riot, Lasher, Agony, Toxin, and and Omega, like I said. $30 cover price on this because it was more of a little bit of a maxi series, I guess, right? Was it 8 issues or so? But I really dug it. I like the Andy Mayhem symbiote and how I saw her go from the Flash Thompson Venom run until now. So she kind of goes through a transformation here. It was just big, dumb, fun symbiote superhero stuff, man. I just dug the hell out of it. I mean, look at the artwork. Love the symbiotes, man. So this was a super cool story. Looks like it does have variant covers. Oh, look at the trading card in the back. Wow. Super 90s style. This must have been connecting variants, man. Damn, that's really tight. All right, guys, on to the next book. All right, so Way of X by Spurrier, Quinn, and Tartaglia. This is Volume 1, which collects the first 5 issues. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. This should be... I don't know why it's called Volume 1. I'm pretty sure this ended in 5 issues, and then Onslaught Revelation was like that Onslaught one-shot. $20 cover price here. Nightcrawler-driven story, which really goes about the ethics of the Resurrection Protocol, the ethics of religion. So it was pretty interesting in that aspect. They started teasing Onslaught again, which was cool, and kind of the way Onslaught was able to manifest himself again. But they didn't really do enough with it. I don't know. I just kind of felt like it should have been a bigger deal, I guess. I mean, I guess because Onslaught was such a big deal when he first came out. But I enjoyed Way of X. I think it was underrated. Well, if you want to catch up on it, pick up the trade. All right, Wolverine Volume 3, Benjamin Percy, Adam Kubert, Medina, Diaz, Fernandez. You know, I really wanted to like the Wolverine ongoing. I'm just not loving it. This collects issues 14 through 19. I'm thinking we're out of the 10 of Swords phase here and back onto the Wolverine solo story. But to see, it doesn't really have a big overarching story. Like, you kind of thought there was something there with Omega Red and the vampires. It feels like either that fizzled out or it didn't go anywhere. This has this Madripoor story with this kind of big beast guy, which was actually pretty enjoyable. I did like the Madripoor stuff here, but it doesn't feel like a Wolverine like ongoing. It just feels like random Wolverine stories to me. But you know, Volume 3 is out, man. If you want to see for yourself, don't take my word for it. It does have some cool moments. It does have some good artwork. I love this story. If this was the Wolverine on the sea the whole time, that was a really good one. We have the lone trade paperback release on March 2nd. This is X-Men Volume 1 by Jerry Dugan. I guess you could say Volume 2 of the X-Men Krakoa era. All right, guys, so this is Volume 1 of Jerry Dugan's X-Men. First, Hickman had an X-Men title during Reign of X, and that has been canceled or stopped or intentionally over with, and now this is the new X-Men book with the new team. $17.99 cover price, collects the first 6 issues. This was the whole vote for the X-Men team that they did during the Hellfire Club Gala, and I think it was also a vote in real life that you can do. And they picked the team, and I don't even remember the whole team. Rogue, Polaris, I guess this is it. Cyclops, Jean Grey, Sunfire, Sync, Wolverine, and like I said, Rogue and Polaris, yeah. So it was pretty cool because so much of X-Men has been Krakoa ever since the Hickman era. This one brings the X-Men back to New York City. They have a big treehouse in Central Park, and they're ready to be superheroes again. There's new threats. There's people that are pissed off that they terraformed Mars. So it has a lot of promise. I mean, I really did like the first 6 issues. The latter half, they kind of lost me a little bit with the whole Captain Krakoa Cyclops death thing. That kind of feels off. But give it a shot, man. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind rereading it back to back and really getting the full gist of it. Here goes the cover for issue 1, which was pretty dope, actually. And, oh, look at this. What? Joe Jusko trading cards. Look at them putting extras in the trade paperbacks for us, man. Okay. Oh, there goes Captain Krakoa, which was like a Cyclops alter ego. All right, then the rest of the trades come out on March 9th. We have The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2 of the current ongoing. We have Moon Knight by Jeff Lemire. Really interested in reading this. Again, Moon Knight, the show's coming out. They're reprinting a lot of material, which is smart. Trial of Magneto, the miniseries, gets a trade paperback. I read it. It was all right. Scarlet Witch-inspired story. It was okay. Carnage, Black, White, and Blood. We shown the Treasury edition recently, and now there's just a regular trade paperback if you just want to read the stories. And lastly, X-Force Volume 4. All right, Amazing Spider-Man. This is Beyond Volume 2. You have a number of creators here. Ahmad, Gleason, Ziegler, Gomez, Fornes, Medina. I wasn't really a huge fan of Nick Spencer's Amazing Spider-Man. This run so far seems to be filler in between this and the Wells Romita Jr. run. $18 cover price gets you Amazing Spider-Man 80.bay, which is a little 0.1 issue or whatever, and 81 through 85. I like where it's going now because I hate the Beyond Corporation, and reading along, it seems like you're supposed to hate them, right? So that actually played out pretty well. Don't like the Beyond Corporation. Love Ben Reilly's Spider-Man. Not loving Peter Parker stuck in a coma because of a battle with the UFOs. That was kind of whack. So these issues kind of go back and forth. Some are Ben Reilly focused, some are Peter Parker focused. Dr. Octopus is in the mix. This is the current Spider-Man run, guys. This is where we're at, and we're about to head into a new jumping on point, so you could catch up via the trades if you'd like. All right, guys, so Moon Knight by Jeff Lemire, Smallwood, Bel Air, the complete collection. If there's one thing for sure, 2 things for certain, is that I love Jeff Lemire, and I haven't read enough Moon Knight. I need to read this run. $35, collects the 2016 volume, which is 14 issues. Again, Marvel just, using the SEO advantage and dropping material to coincide with big movie and TV releases. I mean, that's a no-brainer, and any publisher should be doing that. So props to them, and letting people like myself, who I've never been a big Moon Knight reader. I mean, I've known of the character, but I would love to read this and maybe even do a review, maybe to coincide with the show release as well, so I could play that same game. Looks good. It looks gritty. I'm sure the writing style is going to be fluid and interesting, as Jeff Lemire always is, especially with a character like Mark Spector. But I can't speak on it yet, as I haven't read it. But this is going to go on my nightstand, I think, y'all. All right, The Trial of Magneto. This is by Williams, Wernick, Messina, and Delgado. This is a miniseries during the Reign of X or Dawn of X. I forget what the last part was even called, which was a 5-issue miniseries. And it was a whodunit. The Scarlet Witch is dead. See, it's not a spoiler. Scarlet Witch is dead. She got killed at the end of the Hellfire Gala, and everyone's blaming Magneto. He's being super weird about it. He's looking sus. But it's kind of like, why would he kill his own daughter? Especially, like, how big of a deal was any of this, really, with the Resurrection Protocol? But what was interesting is the Quiet Council voting on whether or not to resurrect Scarlet Witch for obvious reasons. Her mental unstableness. She was responsible for the deaths of millions of mutants. So that's all interesting. If it sounds like that's something you're into, pick up the trade. It was okay. All right, guys, so Carnage, Black, White, and Blood. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I did cover the Treasury edition. It collects the 4 issues. It's got an $18 cover price. Each issue has 3 stories by 3 different creative teams that are done in black, white, and red. and the red is for all the blood and Carnage symbiote and stuff like that. They usually put all-star cast of writers on these books, so you get like a Donny Cates story, you'll get a Jeff Lemire story, maybe not necessarily in this one, but they did a Wolverine one. They did, all the publishers started doing them. Dynamite did Red Sonja, DC did Superman, Wonder Woman, so just fun little one-shots if you're a big fan of the character, and the trade does also come with the variants in the back, so that's cool to have. And then lastly, we have X-Force Volume 4, Benjamin Percy, Gil, Kokolo, and Guru EFX. You know what, I might have, this might not be coming out on the same date as the rest, but check for it. Collects X-Force issues 21 through 26, $18 cover price. I think it has the same flaws as the Wolverine book. You know, it kind of is a Wolverine book. I mean, he's part of this X-Force team. Man, I'm trying to even think of what's going on. I can't even really recall the stories, even though I'm reading this monthly. But yeah, we got Forge and Domino, basically a little X-Force teams being put together to do what they've always done, be the Black Ops of X-Men, right? So fighting these threats. Beast is tinkering in the background. There's some travel to the center of the Beast body, shrinking down, like horror movie type thing going on in one of these issues. So yeah, X-Force, you know, it's hard. Remender's X-Force is my favorite one, and it's hard to top that. You got Wolverine with the adamantium surfboard. I forgot that was in this book and not in Wolverine. That was a pretty cool story, that whole like Krakoa, Death Cove of Krakoa thing. Anyway, it's X-Force. All right, guys, before we jump into the Omnis, we have a Marvel Studios Art of WandaVision hardcover, horizontal cover. I always remember seeing these when I first got back into collecting. It was around the time that the MCU started, and they would have for all the movies, they had these types of books. I would flip through them at the comic shop. I was always tempted to buy them, but I never ended up picking one up. I flipped through it already. We're going to look at it together. Cool stuff if you're a big fan of the show. This one comes out on March 9th as well. All right, guys, now the Art of WandaVision. Beautiful artwork on the cover. Got the spine, and then again, beautiful artwork on the back. You have the sitcom-inspired animation. You have Monica Rambeau. You got the whole squad there. And let's jump into this book. So these are very high quality. You have these nice high-res pictures here. Right here we have the introduction with kind of a concept art. A forward here by Matt Shackman. Filmed before a live studio audience. So just everything you need to know about WandaVision, basically. Here's some Monica Rambeau concept designs. I remember the sword necklace had everybody guessing. That was the thing about WandaVision that was so cool. It just had everybody constantly guessing of what's an Easter egg, what's going to be real. Throwback costumes for the whole family for Halloween. Then it gets all MCU-ish, right? It goes from that old sitcom and ages appropriately. Agatha all along, where they got the song lyrics. So you guys get the gist of it. All right, guys, now on to the Omnis. Now, the DC books are already released. You can get them at places like organicpricebooks.com. The first one is a big boy. I swear, DC doesn't do an omnibus unless it's like going to be a really big book. So this is volume 2 out of the 3 omnibus series that'll collect the books of Magic. I guess Neil Gaiman's follow-up to Sandman. I'm not really familiar with Books of Magic. I've never read it. Flipping through it, it looks like Sandman. It's got that DC 90s Vertigo art style to it. But we'll flip through it together and get the gist of it. All right, so the dust jacket for the Books of Magic Omnibus Volume 2. Peter Gross, John Nay Reiber, Sherilyn Van Valkenburg. You got a forward by John Nay Reiber, introduction by Peter Gross, and the spine and the back. So big boy, $150 cover price. Collects the Books of Magic Series 2, 33 through 75. The Books of Magic Annuals 1 and 3. Fairy 1 through 3. Molly's Story 1 through 4. Hellblazer / the Books of Magic 1 through 2. And Tales from Vertigo, Winter's Edge 1 through 3. So that's what it collects. The inside of the dust jacket has a little quote here. Your magic is you, always has been, always will. And then a biography on the creators. It does have a wraparound cover here. There you go. And this is, like I said, a super thick book, guys. With that being said, you know, you got to stretch that spine. Go into the middle of the book. You actually do have some give. The eye does lift up a little bit to let you go through this book without that much gutter loss, but with such a huge book, it's going to be unavoidable. But let's start here at the front, just get a quick gist of what's going on. Here we go. You have a nice table of contents here. All the issues. A ton of issues here, man. You've got a forward and an introduction. And then boom, onto the books of magic. So right away, this to me looks like how Sandman looked. That 90s kind of mature DC Vertigo style. And I'm sure, you know, from the mind of Neil Gaiman, although these aren't written by him, I'm sure it's got some out there sorcery, and it's all about witchcraft, as the title would suggest. So, like I said, this is not stuff that I read growing up, and I didn't catch it, you know, reading back as an adult yet. I'd have to devote some time to the books of magic. It does have the page numbers on the bottom, the covers there as well. So solid book. All right, sticking with DC, we have The Flash by Geoff Johns, Volume 3, wrapping up the newer 3 omnibus of this. And I'm glad that I made the upgrade. The first set had that really thin Volume 1, then Volume 2 and 3 were just varying sizes. This one is mapped out correctly. The spines look better, and they're the similar size. Maybe now I can get through my read-through. I tried to get into this with the original set that I had. I wasn't really digging the first volume. I read maybe half of it. But maybe it's time to jump back in there and see what The Flash by Geoff Johns is all about. So let's take a look at Volume 3. All right, so Volume 3 of The Flash. We have the front cover here, the spine, and the back. So $100 cover price on this, and it collects Final Crisis Rogue's Revenge 1 through 3, The Flash Rebirth 1 through 6, Blackest Night, The Flash 1 through 3, The Flash 1 through 12 from the 2010 volume, and The Flash Secret Files and Origins 2010 number 1, plus Flashpoint 1 through 6. So yeah, I have heard, you know, that this will double dip with that Flashpoint Omnibus, so that's something to just be weary about. Inside of the dust jacket just has an image of the Flash, biography on Geoff Johns, and the hardcover has a wraparound cover as well. There we go, great image of the Flash. So let's take a look at it, guys. Yeah, so this one haven't read yet. Need to do a whole read through of the 3 volumes here. Table of contents, introduction. Looks like they won't have the covers. They don't really do that with modern books for some reason. Has the page numbers on the bottom. I can see that the eye is not stuck to the back of the hardcover, so the eye will raise up and allow you to get through this with minimal gutter loss, so that's good as well. Make sure to stretch the spine. All right, there we go, onto the Flashpoint stuff with Thomas Wayne. Yeah, so man, I'm interested, man. I want to power through. I want to do a whole read-through. A lot of variants in the back. Let me know, man. When does it get good in Volume 1, or is it just not for me? All right, guys, on to the Marvel Omnis. Now, the Conan the Barbarian, the original Marvel Years Volume 7 is scheduled to come out on March 9th as well. They are continually churning out the Conan content, so fans of this stuff have to rejoice. Let's go ahead and flip through it. We'll take a look at the different covers and what it contains. All right, guys, like with Conan, like I said, this is the DM variant, which is the cover for Conan the Barbarian 189. This cover in the back is the regular cover, which is by Lenny Francis Yu and Sonny Go. Let's take a quick look at the dust jacket. We saw the cover. Spine is uniform with all the other Conan volumes. You have all the covers of the issues on the back, which is awesome. $125 cover price. Collects Conan the Barbarian 172 through 194 with annuals 10 and 11. You have a blip on the creators here and where we are with Conan in this volume. So if you guys are Conan fans, you're going to love what Marvel has been doing with these Omnis. If you're not fans of Conan, you're going to hate it. Not something I grew up with, but I can appreciate the art and the stories and everything that went into it. I can appreciate the hell out of the massive Conan library that Marvel's putting together with these Omnis. Introduction here by Christopher Priest. Papers are kind of thin here. Paper's thin. And here we go. So you got a great Bronze Age artwork. I mean, look at this. We got Conan on horseback here. Yeah, it's hard for me to do these overviews, guys, just because I haven't read this. And it's not something that I'm really planning to read. But, you know, if you guys are interested in the material, definitely want to share it with you guys and let you know when it comes out and what it collects and everything. So here is Conan. Great artwork here. Is that Red Sonja? So we got Conan versus some aliens here. It's pretty cool. Conan, Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff in the back. Some nice bonuses here from the movies. I've never seen the Conan movies either, yo. Okay, some original art. That's cool. And lastly, guys, coming out on March 16th, we have the Fantastic Four by Jonathan Hickman Omnibus, Volume 1. This is the new printing. You new Omni collectors don't know how good you got it. Back in my day, there was no such things as reprints. If it was out of print, it was out of print. You had to hunt. You had to go pay exorbitant amounts on eBay and Amazon. But, man, super cool. It's got to be a great 2020 and moving forward had to be a great time for new collectors. So many reprints of so many whales. I did a review of this when the channel first started. The only thing I could really remember is a huge spoiler, so I'm not going to speak on it. I remember loving this. I did a Hickman read-through, Secret Warriors, Fantastic Four, Avengers, and Secret Wars. I really remember enjoying it. Let's flip through it together. Maybe I'll remember a little bit of it, but either way, it's a must-buy. All right, guys, so the new printing is here on the left. This is the DM variant. This is the first printing, and this is the regular cover, so you guys can pick and choose which one you'd like. All right, so there we have the spine and the back of the omnibus collecting Dark Reign Fantastic Four 1 through 5, Fantastic Four 570 through 588, FF 1 through 5, and material from Dark Reign, the Cabal one-shot. $100 cover price on here, biography on the creative team on the right, a little blurb about the story on the left, regular cover graphic on the hardcover itself, and the DM variant on the back. So that's kind of slick. I like that. All right, guys, so white cover page. Hickman has been doing the white graphic design page way before the X-Men, man. He was doing it with Avengers, with Fantastic Four, with Secret Warriors. I think he has a background in graphic design, seriously. Love this. It's almost like not a reboot or reimagining, right? Because you don't start with the origin of the Fantastic Four. Not that I recall. A great modern take on Fantastic Four that everybody should be reading. So cool to see these get reprinted, man. Seriously, for you guys that have gotten to the game, you know, more recently. Look at this, Celestial battling with Fantastic Four. It's cosmic. It's Hickman with Fantastic Four, man. Definitely a great run. A great way to utilize Franklin and Val. You know, that's kind of part of the spoiler that I'm not going to get into. But yeah, man, do yourself a favor. Pick this up while you can for under retail. You're not going to regret it, man. Big, crazy, cool stuff. Let's see if there's any bonus materials. Yeah, remember Spider-Man joins the FF. He had that new costume. So variant covers in the back. Very cool. Look at Thing turning into Ben Grimm, or the other way around. All right, guys, and there we go. Let me know which books you're picking up in the comments down below. Remember, this Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, February 11th, doing my big omnibus sale on Whatnot. Hope to see you there. Stay minty fresh. Peace.